Welcome back to the Ultimate GH Fan Zone, where the drama never sleeps, and neither do we. Grab a coffee, because today is a wild one, and we have so much to unpack about the latest explosive shakeups in Port. The screen fades to black, leaving a suffocating silence in its wake, as the tectonic plates of Port Charles shift yet again, forcing Michael Corinthos to make the impossible choice between the safety of his children and the woman he thought could be his fresh start. I cannot believe they actually did it. I am typing furiously right now, absolutely losing my mind over what just happened. I mean, we all knew something was going to break, but I didn't think they would actually pull the trigger this fast. Paige Herschel is officially out as Jacinda Bracken, and I am a massive ball of mixed emotions. I have been watching this soap religiously since 2015, and this is honestly one of the most frustrating, exhilarating, and completely chaotic character exits they have pulled in a long time. I need to get this out of my system because I know you guys are feeling the exact same. Because didn't we literally just finish saying goodbye to Ethan Lovett like 5 minutes ago? Seriously, the revolving door in Port Charles is spinning so fast right now, it is making me dizzy. Let's just look at the casualty list for a sec. Christian Howard had a blink-and-you-miss-it 3-day run as Ethan before bolting out of town because of Hudson. Maxie, Spinelli, and the kids are permanently living in Australia because Kirsten Storms is off canvas. Cassius Faison is supposedly dead because Ryan Pavey left to film a holiday movie. And now Jacinda is packing her bags and leaving Michael Corinthos officially single and back on the market. Am I the only one who feels like the writers are just cleaning house to make room for all these new characters? It is absolute madness. But let's talk about Jacinda. Because what a wild, unexpected, and totally bizarre ride this character has had. Remember when she first showed up back on the 23rd of April 2025? She was literally just a hired gun. Nina Reeves and Portia Robinson brought her in to drug Drew Kane. That was supposed to be a short-term gig. Just a quick plot device to move the story along. But then the show expanded the part, brought her back in September of that same year, and she actually stuck around. She became Michael's alibi during all that legal drama, and suddenly they were in this fake romance that slowly but surely turned into a real, breathing relationship. Kinda loved them together. I really did. And honestly, Michael Corinthos desperately needed a girl like Jacinda in his life. He has the absolute worst track record with women in the history of daytime television. Let's just review the tape, shall we? Nell Benson was a literal psychopath who terrorized his entire family, gaslit everyone in a 50-mile radius, and ended up falling off a cliff. Sasha Gilmore was a beautiful mess who faked an affair with Harrison Chase just to push Michael away so he could win custody of Wiley. And Willow. Well, don't even get me started on Willow Kane right now. Jacinda was edgy. She was different. And she brought out a side of Michael that we haven't seen in years. Paige Herschel had this insane, undeniable chemistry with the role, and I was genuinely rooting for them to make it. But then they had to go and ruin it. I'm sorry, but drugging Willow's iced latte? What was she thinking? I know Jacinda was trying to help Michael win this vicious custody war, and I know she was absolutely furious about the restraining order Willow slapped on her, but getting pills from Ezra Boyle and spiking a drink is crossing a massive line. You do not just go rogue and commit a felony when your boyfriend is in the middle of a delicate legal battle for his child. I was screaming at my television when she dropped those pills into that cup. It was so incredibly reckless. And let's talk about the logistics of that drugging for a second, because it was a total disaster waiting. Nina Reeves' cup was sitting right next to Willow's. Nina could have easily picked up the wrong iced latte and drank it. Imagine the fallout if Nina had been the one poisoned. But no, Willow drank it, and the results were absolutely terrifying. Because it wasn't just about Willow. Wiley and Amelia were right there. When Willow got all loopy from those drugs and started acting like an absolute maniac, shouting about being a rotten egg and trying to race the kids out the door to drive them to the arcade, my heart stopped. Jacinda put those innocent kids in mortal danger. Wiley almost drank from that drug coffee himself. If Willow hadn't stopped him at the last second, we would be looking at a completely different, infinitely more tragic storyline right now. You just do not mess with a mother and her kids on a soap opera, no matter how much you hate them. So when Michael found out the truth, the fallout was absolutely atomic. I mean, the look on Michael's face when he realized his shady girlfriend was the one who nearly killed his baby mama? Chill. Pure chill. Jacinda had to confess that she dropped the pill she got from Ezra into the coffee, and Michael was just incredulous. Family court definitely frowns on dating the woman who tries to poison your ex-wife, and Michael knew instantly that Jacinda's reckless move was going to unleash absolute chaos. He had to cut ties. He had to protect his family. Let's really break down that confrontation scene at the Metro Court Gardens, because the acting was top tier. Jacinda finally cracking under the pressure and admitting she dropped one of the pills into the ice. The way Michael's voice dropped an entire octave when he asked, "You drugged the mother of my children?" You could see the exact second his heart broke, but also the exact second the Corinthos ice water started flowing through his veins. He didn't yell. He didn't scream. He just looked at her like she was a stranger. That is so much scarier than a screaming match. Jacinda realized in that moment that she had made a colossal blunder. She thought she was being the supportive, ride-or-die girlfriend helping him win his kids, and instead, she handed him the ultimate betrayal. The breakup scene on Tuesday's episode was gut-wrenching. Michael handing her that thick envelope full of cash. It felt so cold, but also so classically Corintho. He bought her off. He literally paid her a hefty severance package to leave Port Charles and start a fresh life somewhere else. It is exactly what Sonny or Carly would have done, and it proves that Michael is truly embracing his ruthless family legacy. He didn't call the cops, he didn't turn her in, he just handed her a bank account and told her to vanish. And part of me is screaming, yes, good riddance, because she endangered Wiley and Amelia, and I cannot forgive her. But another part of me is actually really sad. Paige Herschel acted her heart out in that tearful echo. You could see that Jacinda really fell hard for Michael. She genuinely loved him, and she thought she was helping him eliminate the biggest threat to his happiness. She felt like their relationship was doomed from the start, but they shared something really sweet. It broke my heart to see her crying like that, realizing she had destroyed the best thing she ever did. I was scrolling through X and the message boards all day today, and the fandom is completely split down the middle. Half the fans are throwing a virtual party because they thought Jacinda was toxic, and they want Michael to reunite with Willow, which, ew, no thank you. The other half are absolutely raging because they feel like Paige Herschel was done so dirty by the writer. I mean, they literally wrote her into a corner that could only end in heartbreak. It is so frustrating when you invest over a year into a character, watching them grow and evolve, only for the writers to turn them into a cartoon villain overnight just to facilitate a break. Am I the only one who sees the lazy writing here? They needed Michael single for this deception storyline and the Willow custody war, so they just hit the self-destruct button. Wait, am I actually defending the girl who drugged someone? Okay, back to the point. Catching myself here. Jacinda had to go. Michael is gearing up for the custody battle of the century against Willow, and he cannot have a loose cannon girlfriend running around committing felonies and handing Willow the perfect ammunition to use in court. Michael has to be spotless right now. And you just know Tracy Quartermaine is somewhere in the mansion sipping her tea and saying, I told you so. Tracy has been in Michael's ear this entire time, bargaining with him in the breakfast room, telling him to use whatever leverage he has to completely obliterate Willow and get her out of their lives for good. Tracy has zero patience for weakness, and she certainly has zero patience for girlfriends who leave a trail of evidence. Michael maneuvering Willow into the boathouse was a stroke of genius, but having Jacinda pull a sloppy drugging stunt right under their noses, Tracy would have probably thrown Jacinda out of the mansion herself if Michael hadn't done it first. Although, let's be entirely real here, Willow is no saint either. I know some people are loving Willow's new dark, vengeful era, but personally, I am exhausted by her. She is currently trapped living in the Quartermaine boathouse because Michael outmaneuvered her to prevent a parental kidnapping stunt. She is plotting with Jack Brennan, trying to reopen Drew's shooting investigation, and now she is demanding full immediate custody of the kids. The audacity. She literally barged into the Quartermaine mansion, demanding sole custody because of what Jacinda did. Michael needs to focus 100% of his energy on destroying her, and he has the ultimate leverage. Trina and Kai visited Michael and confessed that they were in the house the night Drew was shot. They heard Wiley's ringtone when Michael called Willow, proving she was there shooting Drew twice in the back. Michael was threatening Willow with this proof, telling her he finally has the evidence to take her down. He needs to use it. Jacinda was just a massive distraction from this real war. But here's the thing that is keeping me awake right now. The theory that is burning a hole in my brain. They didn't kill Jacinda off. They sent her away with a pile of cash and a broken heart. You know exactly what that means in soap language, right? I am calling it right here, right now. Jacinda Bracken is going to pop back up in exactly 9 months holding a baby. I mean, think about it. It is the most predictable, yet incredibly effective twist. Michael is officially single and back on the market. He is going to spend the next year fighting Willow, dealing with the corporate war at Deception, maybe hooking up with someone else, and just when his life finally settles down, bam. Jacinda walks into the Metro Court, holding a little Corinthos air. It is the oldest trick in the daytime playbook, and I am fully dreading it, but I am also totally here for the drama. Can you imagine Willow's face if Jacinda returns as the mother of Michael's new child? Until then, Michael has a lot on his plate. With Jacinda out of the picture, Michael's airtime is going to be dominated by this ruthless corporate war, and I am so ready for CEO Michael. Deception is an absolute mess. Maxie sold her shares to Michael because she thought he would put the company first, but now Lucy Coe is losing her mind trying to maintain control. Bringing Serena Baldwin back into the mix to act as Lucy's heavy hitter is brilliant, but sending her to the pool in a swimsuit to seduce Michael? Come on, Lucy. Michael just got out of a relationship that ended in a felony poisoning. He is not going to fall for a honeypot trap at the Metro Court pool. He warned Serena that she had a huge hurdle to overcome, and honestly, that hurdle is his completely shattered trust in women. I will genuinely miss Paige. She brought a really fun, unpredictable, spicy energy to the show that we desperately. She wasn't a legacy character. She wasn't tied to any massive family tree. She was just a wild card who shook things up. It is always a bummer when a talented actress gets written into a corner that can only end in an exit, but I guess her character had served its purpose. So yeah, I am a total mess over this episode. I am sad, I am relieved, I am frustrated, and I am exhausted. Port Charles is losing characters left and right, and the stakes have never been higher. Michael has to step up now. No more distraction. No more shady girl. He has to protect his kids from Willow, from Drew, and from the absolute circus that his life has become. And if Jacinda does come back with a baby next year, heaven help. We are in for a wild ride, and I am strapping in for every single second. Will Jacinda return with a Corinthos heir? Or is Michael truly free? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates.